The prayer poem. I invite you to pray with me. Always happy for Margaret's witness on the harmonica while clogging at retreats. Grateful for her undying commitment to sending birthday cards to everyone with great and positive energy. Her love of music we will always remember. Life lessons. Eat your vegetables. If you have nothing good to say, say nothing at all. If you don't know anyone at a gathering, ask people to tell you about themselves. And then fourthly, forgive your sisters and brothers. They know not what they do. Many of you know that I am blind. Margaret was always so happy that I knew who she was. Do you know who else is left-handed? President Obama is left-handed. His memories of always smiling, always happy, always loving to see people, always showing up for the environmental movie nights at Temple Emmanuel. Tap dancing and playing harmonica at the same time, what a life force. I loved hearing all of the stories of Margaret. She made beautiful homemade greeting cards. Would that all my readers were as excited about my writing. Her genuine enthusiasm made me feel special. Such was her gift, and she was always so generous with it. She loved to come and help our Girl Scout troop, and we loved having her. Laughter on the street with Tippy, her dog. When my now teenage son Brock was an infant, Brenda Scruggs babysat for him on Fridays. She made him business cards and took him to visit the folks in Salem Town Healthcare. Recently, a visit to Salem Town from our church youth, it was so obvious how thrilled she was to see everyone. Thank you for sowing seeds of faith and turning them both. God bless and keep you until we meet again. When Mom was doing her thing, it was stepping into a digging fork and turning over the gumbo clay of northeastern Kansas. She loved gardening, and when I had the itch to dig a hole, she gave me space in her garden. With me, she witnessed David Burleson, who had fallen into that mud hole. I want to thank you for what you've been with our treasured grandchildren. I want to thank you, Margaret, for your loving legacy, being deeply rooted in God's love. Your practical, lived out loud spirituality will continue on. My grandmother loved to play. She could make a Native American costume from a paper grocery bag. And a goat's beard out of a piece of toilet paper and some soap. She was never my babysitter, but my playmate, a part of the bond, the puppet master, the loudest voice in the choir. We have the well card she made when she was 91. Please feel free to take one. Save it for a day when you are down. They are on the table in the fellowship hall. She would want you to have it. I would drive from Carborough to eat lunch with her in her house at Salem Town. She would always have red apples and Diet Coke waiting for me. And then we would have lunch and while away the afternoon. My dad and I attended a meeting that Margaret gave a speech. She was so engaging, and my dad at 90 was so impressed with her. He thought she was really something. It was fortunate to spend a little time with her. Aunt Anna, the thing I remember when I think of her is when I was with her, things always felt lighter. The time at the start of service, Margaret was greeting my husband, and when she saw me from afar, she lit up and moved him out of the way to get to me. I remember how startled I was when she stood up in the middle of a baby baptism and started to play Jesus Loves Me. I remember her 90th birthday party, a grand celebration for a grand lady. Margaret and I enjoyed having the same first name. Then later she loved that she knew my identical twin sister. She would greet me with firm hands on my shoulders, saying, "I have a twin sister, Mary." Our children benefited from the Parkway Pal program, making connections with other adults at Parkway. The St. John's River Church retreats were her stage and her joyful highlight. One Thanksgiving, we were invited to Anna's for lunch. After lunch, we played a game that required us to draw pictures. Margaret's pictures were always so different and fun. She had us laughing and really enjoying our time together. As we all agreed, Margaret was a hugger. No, Margaret was bigger than life itself. She has a will that will continue to be a beacon of light moving forward in our lives. Keep moving, keep exploring, keep embracing, keep living life to its fullest. Every time I saw her after Milo passed away, she would put her hands on my shoulders and she would look me in the eye and say, "I have a picture of your daughter on my dresser, and I look at it every day. I miss her." Margaret always was in the present moment, sharing her creations, her cards, her earrings, her smile, her story. I lived for 9 months in her house. She was very kind with me. We loved each other like family. 10 or 15 years ago, I took a guest, an 80-year-old African-American lady to Forsyth Toastmasters. Margaret gave that guest a very warm welcome, and later Margaret sent the guest a handwritten note. To this day, that lady mentions Margaret's kindness and tells me what a wonderful lady she is. Endearing thoughts of remembering her as a pillar of Toastmasters. Her sense of humor is always remembered. At Salemtown, she visited residents and read to them. She cared so much for people. She was loved by everyone. She really enjoyed after-service refreshments. Many birthday cards that she sent me and everybody in this congregation made me feel loved and special, and did as her smile always lit up the room. So let this stream of memories continue, not just in this service, but afterwards when we gather in a fellowship hall, and each and every day spread out into the future. I invite you now to